Hey everyone, let's talk today about lip colors from Evenflo, their new set, True Lips. It is made by Permablend and it is called True Lips. This is Evenflo Colours, made by Lulu Siciliano. And so let's just go ahead and open this up and take a look inside. So it comes with this little chart in here. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's just get a look at these colors. These are gorgeous. These are said to be designed for both men and women. I mean, you can use any color you want on any person that you want, of course, but these, as the name says, True Lips, it's meant to be a very natural set, of colors. So this is the first side of the little insert. It talks a little bit about the colors. This side I love. It gives you the names of the colors, what the color looks like in the matte tone. It gives you a description of the color, and then this is the part that I like the best. This part tells you what colors make up this color, right? So, you know, I talk all the time about learning to do drawdowns and reading the ingredients and knowing what's in your pigments. But if you don't know what those colors mean, there's yellow number 7, yellow number 14, there's red 210, red 174, red 254. So like, not all colors are the same. So it's important that you know what they look like. So like, for example, that color right there, right? Like that's going to be one of those reds that, and that one is a red and that one's a red. So those are 3 different reds that are in there and they look very, very different. So it's important to know what colors are in your color makeup, in your ingredients, so that when you're deciding what color lip, you know, what to put on a lip, you've got a better formula to work with, especially if you're trying to get very natural looking lips. You want to work with the undertones of the lip, the undertones of the color, and all of that's going to be super important with your color theory. So let's unbox these and do some drawdowns. If you've never done a drawdown before, what you're going to do is you want to write down the names of the colors that you're using. I have a little cup of water and some Q-tips here, and then I have all of the colors. So the purpose of doing the drawdown is so that we could see the color at its mass tone, which is the color in its pure form, and then we're going to dilute it and draw it down so that we could see the undertones of the color and get a better true value of what the color looks like. So a lot of times inside of the bottle, they don't look exactly like they do once they are on the paper. So now normally the drawdown papers that I usually use, that I print for myself, have a black bar across the middle, and that's to show opacity. You want to be able to see how sheer the color is or how opaque it might be. I don't have that here because the ones I use have 3, they go this way and they're in 3s, and I wanted to be able to fit it all on one page for you, but do it however you like. This is for you, for your reference, and I keep these in the closet with all of the rest of my pigments so that at any time I can have a look and see what they look like, so I don't have to swatch them every time I'm looking at a person. So this first one is Dirty French, and this color is billed as a earthy harmonious shade with neutral undertone for natural lip results, and it is described as an earthy harmonious shade with neutral undertone for natural lip results, and it is a unisex color. Now this one, if we look at the chart here, we want to be really careful here because there is black in this color, and so we want to make sure that we really know our color theory and we know when we can use this color, with what shade of natural lips we can use this color, when and how to use it. So let's take a look. So I'm just going to dip this in the water, and then I'm just going to squeeze it a little bit so that it's not super wet. And I'm going to draw this down. This has a really, I don't want to repeat what the description said, but it is definitely very earthy. It's got like a brick kind of look to it. Really nice. Very neutral in color, and definitely at its mass tone here is definitely a dark color, so you do want to be careful with this, like I said. This one is called Rock Rose, and this color is described as an elegant dusty pink shade with a subtle cool undertone. sort of really bold in its mass tone there. And then even though, so this says that it has a cool undertone, but it feels a little bit more like it's got like an orangey to it, right? And so let's go ahead and take a look over here. And there is orange in this color. The first color here is white, which means that that's what it has the most of, right? There's orange, but look, there's also blue. And if you remember from Dirty French, there's black and blue in this kind of magenta red. Here we've got the magenta red. We've got a really deep like brownish color, and then we've got this blue. So these are cool undertone colors. So don't let this fool you here into thinking that it's a warmer color, because it's not. Definitely always check the description from the company and check the color formula. You should never take anything by its word, because what is warm to me or neutral to me might feel a little more neutral or cool to you. So you should always know what's in your color formulas so that you can make that determination for yourself. This color is Divinizer, and this is a powdery lilac color with a cool undertone for a natural nude look. So in the description it says lilac, right? But like that's looking pretty pink or mauve to me. So again, let's not just take things for face value. We want to look at them ourselves. And I mean, admittedly, we can see that this does have a very cool undertone. So I could see where they're getting that lilac from. And if we look at the chart here under Divinizer, there is purple in it. And then there's this magenta and this kind of hot pink color. So the lilac undertones are definitely there. And as it's drying, we could see it getting cooler. And it's a very earthy tone. It's a very muted, meaning it's not bright. And so again, a gorgeous color, but definitely a cool undertone. And you want to be really careful with these, because if you don't know your color theory, especially color theory as it pertains to lips, these colors can be dangerous. But if you know what you're doing and how to use them, these are absolutely beautiful colors. And I've used Divinizer, and it is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous in the lip. This is Naturalista. And this color is described as a cinnamon nude colored tone, and it is a unisex color. So I mean, honestly, I think all colors are unisex. It depends on what you need, why you need it. Any color could be a unisex color, but as far as natural lip tones go, like, yes, I can agree that this is definitely got a very natural unisex vibe to it. And I will agree, this definitely has a cinnamon lean to it. It is fairly dark and bold up here. And if you're noticing, all of these colors, as they come through the drawdown, they're really holding on to their color, meaning that they're not changing much in the mass tone from the full mass tone to the diluted color. And that means that they are very strong, highly pigmented colors that are not going to change as you dilute them. And that's something really important to know, because if you're using the color and using it at its full strength versus its diluted strength, sometimes those are going to be different. Here, they're staying pretty true to color. This one is probably the brightest one in the group. It's Romance. And this color is an expressive pink with a neutral undertone. It's also suitable for balancing with dark or warm brown lip colors. So now immediately, if we look at the color in the bottle and then look at the color here on the paper, they are very different. This is, in the description, it said expressive pink. I would definitely say this is a very expressive pink. Here, it's looking a little more like a soft pink. But let's see what happens. So this is a really nice pink. Kind of got like a bubblegum sort of lean to it, but a little stronger. I think this is such a pretty pink in its most saturated form here. This is a gorgeous color. I think this would look really nice as a lipstick color. In its diluted form, this is definitely a very natural looking pink that you can use for someone with lighter toned skin that's looking for a nice pretty pink that's got a little more pop to it than some of these neutral tones. I want to come back over here real quick. We described Divinizer as a powdery lilac color, and now that it's drying, it's really starting to look a lot more lilac, isn't it? So this kind of purpley tone to it. Again, these are things that you really have to be aware of when you're working with them, because let's go back to the chart. Here in Romance, you can see we've got a cool, two cool reds here and the white, and that's giving us this color. But when we look at things like Divinizer, it's got the purple, the black, that brown color. This is definitely a very cool dark color, and you want to be very, very aware of the color formula and very, very aware of the undertone of the lips you're working with. All right, so this one is Royal Mauve, and this one is described as a lilac brown shade with a subtle cool undertone, and again, this is another unisex color. This is definitely a beautiful looking mauve. It's not too different from here, but I will say that as far as undertones go, this one definitely has a cooler undertone. This one's a little warmer in its undertone than Royal Mauve. At its full strength, that is a pretty dark color. But then again, so are these guys all here. Depending on the undertones of the person's lips, this color could be extremely natural. I've got a few people in mind actually that I'm dying to use this one on. And so if we look here at the color formula, you'll notice here again, there is black, there's purple, and there's that brown shade again. So again, super important that you want to be looking at who you're going to be using these on. So just quickly, there's a Fitzpatrick scale here. I don't use Fitzpatrick that much just because so many people are a little bit of everything. Myself, I can sometimes be as light as a 2, usually around a 3, and sometimes I could even look like a 4. So I feel like it's very difficult to determine someone's Fitzpatrick, but as a general rule of thumb, I definitely agree with this listing here. These are colors, especially like this one and this one, that you should only be using on like 1, 2s, and 3s, or people who fall into that basic category. And then the other ones are a little more lenient with the other colors. But again, if you don't have a strong color theory, if you're struggling to understand color theory, I strongly recommend that you take some additional courses, because this goes above and beyond what you learn in just basic fundamentals courses. And color theory is something that will really make or break you, especially in lips. And especially if you're looking at doing more advanced lips, like looking at natural tones for women or men who are looking to correct scars, or people who are looking to neutralize darker lips, things like that. Color theory is going to really be the pinnacle of what you do, and it will make or break you. So I hope you enjoyed this drawdown. If you'd like to buy this set, it is the True Lips Evenflo Colours. It is made by Permablend for Evenflo, and I do have them available at teachmepmu.com. In the shop, use coupon code Angela10 for 10% off.